Hi, I'm Angela and welcome to my channel, Befriend and Tend. Today I want to talk to you about comparison. Have you ever woken up happy and energized and ready to start your day, and then you pick up your phone while you're drinking your morning coffee and check social media, and before you know it, an hour has gone by and you're feeling blah and completely unmotivated? That is a perfect example of what Theodore Roosevelt was talking about when he said comparison is the thief of joy. And according to some studies, at least 10% of the thoughts we have are comparison thoughts. Things like, that person is so much healthier than I am. That person has a much nicer house than I do. That person has so many more followers than I do. And we may follow this with should statements like, I should be eating healthier. I should have more followers. And once we start doing that, it's a drain on our energy and our mood. Now, it is human nature to compare ourselves. However, many years ago, we would compare ourselves to the Joneses next door. Now we have computers, i.e. phones, in our hands nearly 24/7, and that gives us endless opportunities to compare ourselves. Now, clearly, comparisons aren't all bad. We often use comparisons to try to inspire and motivate us. When we see someone that we consider to be relatively similar to ourselves achieve something, it shows us what's possible. Comparisons do have a dark side, however. Comparing ourselves to others can literally flip our mood so that a good mood becomes a blah mood. And when we start comparing ourselves, we start focusing on the things that we believe we lack instead of thinking about the things that we have. Another bad thing about comparisons is that they demoralize us, especially when the gap between what we see someone else have that we want is too great and we think, we'll never get there, why bother? And we tend to ignore that a lot of what we are comparing ourselves to is the result of somebody's year-long journey. It didn't just happen overnight. Another bad thing about comparing ourselves is that it is literally a waste of time. We are taking these precious moments that we have and using them to do something that doesn't serve us, that doesn't move us forward. In fact, it moves us backwards. Another downside is that comparing ourselves is a way of dehumanizing ourselves. We are complete human beings, a complex package of attributes and traits and strengths and weaknesses and emotions and values and hopes and dreams. We are not just the way our house looks or just the way our clothes look. And when we compare ourselves, we get really focused on these isolated attributes, and that's pretty dehumanizing. And finally, comparing ourselves might create a sense of anger and hostility and resentment if we feel that someone is getting something that we believe we deserve. And yeah, there's a lot to unpack there about what we might feel entitled to and why we might feel somebody else doesn't deserve it. But regardless of all of that, the basic point is it's creating negative emotions in us, and that's not healthy. So the first thing to do is to recognize you're comparing yourself and to pause. Ask yourself if you really want to keep doing this. Is it helping you or is it harming you? And remember that your time is precious and you can choose how to spend it. So close those social media apps and set down your phone. Another thing you can do is ask yourself, what's going right? Most of us have a lot of things going right, even if we're in a difficult time of our life. A little bit of appreciation and tapping into gratitude can really help to undo some of the effects of comparisonitis. And if you want some additional help, you can check out this book by Yeonso Lee, which is a fascinating depiction of her life in North Korea and her escape to South Korea. While I was reading it, it made me feel profoundly grateful for everything in my life. Another thing you can do is recognize if you are comparing yourself to prove to yourself that you're good enough and that you're worthy and that you're doing things right. The truth is that we're all worthy, and somehow we lose that sense, and I don't really understand why or how. But if you think about children, we all sort of take it as a given that children are worthy. We know they're going to make mistakes, but we have faith in their ability to learn and to change and to grow. And I don't think any of that changes when we're adults. We're still going to make mistakes, and we always have the ability to learn and to grow and to change. We have the ability to be kind to other people. We have the ability to make a difference. We have the ability to enjoy sensory experiences, and we all have that just by being alive, and I think that that makes us worthy. Finally, another thing you can do is to shift gears, and instead of comparing yourself to others, you can compare yourself to who you were a month ago, a year ago, a day ago. It doesn't really matter, but just being able to track your own growth and to see your own changes and to acknowledge them and appreciate them and give yourself credit for them. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know and let YouTube know by clicking the like button. That really helps out my growing channel. I'll see you in the next video.